This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
All new at 6, a family blames a senior living facility for the death of their loved one. Call 6 Investigates takes a look at the case, now at the center of a legal fight.
These are precious memories.
Family memories on film being held hostage for years. How trying to keep memories forever turned into a waiting game.
And new allegations of animal abuse at Fair Oaks Farms as an animal rights group releases more video they say proves their claims.
We begin now at 6, a fight for justice for Joseph. A family is taking on a senior living community in Johnson County.
They claim their loved one was abused and that led to his death. Call 6 Chief Investigator Rafael Sanchez reports about the care being questioned.
Joseph and Shulamit Frankel shared love and life in good and bad times after nearly 60 years of marriage.
He was very good man. Really, he loved the children, unbelievable. And he has very good hands. He did everything in the house.
So he was handy?
Handy, very handy.
The Frankels met in Israel. Both served in the military and came to America in 1968 and raised 3 children.
He worked as a mechanic, worked for a dealer of Caterpillar.
Joseph came back home again to Indiana when his health began to fail, including a broken hip. For his long-term care, the family decided the hearth at Stone's Crossing in Greenwood would be the best place for his quality of life.
There's various pieces we looked at on that, and the one we looked at basically allowed them to be checked on more frequently than others, and you pay a little bit more for that.
He lived at the hearth from March 31st through May 26th, 2016.
Listen to everything. If something doesn't sound normal, it probably isn't.
Joseph was removed from the facility. A pending lawsuit filed in 2018 claims an employee assaulted Joseph on May 9th or 10th, 2016, resulting in severe physical, emotional, and psychological trauma. He died June 13th, 2016. Under Indiana law, you have 2 years from the date of death to file a wrongful death lawsuit.
They're systemic failures. They are failures to follow Indiana law as it relates to healthcare providers and nursing homes. These are basic staffing and training and policy and procedure issues that should simply be carried out.
Within a state investigation, the Hearth expressed that abuse or mistreatment of patients is strictly prohibited. Based on their review, they believe Joseph's injuries could have been caused by his falling out of bed. The Hearth fired 2 employees for failing to meet performance and patient standards, even though the facility could not definitely conclude that the workers injured the patient.
We paid for somebody that cares about elderly, cares about his best interest, and that didn't happen.
Now a family fights in honor of a man who was a loving husband and father. In Greenwood, Rafael Sanchez, RTV6.
And we requested a statement from the legal team representing the Hearth. Now, the statement reads, please note that liability is contested and all allegations of negligence have been denied.
More and new allegations of animal abuse are leveled against Fair Oaks Farms in northwest Indiana. Today, the Animal Recovery Mission, or ARM, released a second video they say shows employees at Fair Oaks Farms beating cows onto the milking line and snapping their tails when they refuse to move. These pictures taken by an undercover ARM investigator are from a different Fair Oaks location than the one released last week. Fair Oaks Farms is a popular tourist attraction off I-65 between Indianapolis and Chicago. Criminal misdemeanor charges have been filed against 3 people in connection with the first video, and we just learned one of them is now under arrest. Police are still looking for the other 2. An ARM representative today called for changes to come at Fair Oaks Farms and across the country.
Animal Recovery Mission calls on Fair Oaks Farms to immediately close its public tours and stop lying to American children and parents. We call on Fair Oaks Farm to support ongoing criminal investigations by local officials and to hold their executive team accountable. for all crimes committed in its operations.
RTV6 has reached out to Fair Oaks Farms for comment on the new video, and we are waiting to hear back. But after the release of the first video, the farm's founder and owner promised to install cameras around the facility. At the same time the news conference was going on inside the JW Marriott, outside about 100 protesters called for changes at Fair Oaks Farms. Some even called for the public to go vegan, saying you can't separate violence from farming.
Now to your Storm Team 6 forecast. We've enjoyed a beautiful June day, but rain and cooler temps are on the way. Storm Team 6 Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory is tracking that tonight. Kevin.
They're on the way, and they're not far away. Right along the state line, here's Lafayette and Crawfordsville. You go west and just into Illinois, there's an area of rain that's expanding. It will slowly make progress to the east. Other showers down into central and southern portions of the state. All of this part of the transition to much cooler temperatures for tomorrow. Right now it's 80 in Muncie, 73 in Indy. The western portion of the state is cooler because of more cloud cover and the nearby showers. The wind right now out of the southwest. Tomorrow it will be howling out of the northwest. Between now and 11 o'clock, the rain expands into western Indiana. Temperature drops to about 64.
Family memories are one of a kind. From pictures to film, those images are priceless. But many people are now transforming them into digital media so they can be kept forever. Our Paris LaBelle is working for you, saving family memories that were never returned.
They're irreplaceable.
These are, they're precious memories.
Moments on films and glimpses into the past, sparking memories.
I remember barely when he was photographing and videotaping all these different events, family reunions, or, vacations especially. So I had no clue what was on them.
Sandra Gruber's father was the man behind the camera, recording on these little 8mm film tapes.
Seeing that little bit of the image, it sparks those memories. And that is what I want.
Sandra went on a mission to save the film forever after it narrowly escaped her mother's basement after a bad flood in 2015. Much of it escaped undamaged.
I wanted to be able to retrieve all the possible memories I could for the family reunions.
She found Rocky Mountain Film Lab in Aurora, Colorado back in 2015. It's one of the many processing services that takes old films and puts them on DVDs, sends it to you on a flash drive, or even emails it to you in a downloadable file. And after tragedy in her family, that film was even more important.
My dad was murdered, and I wanted to be able to show these remnants of past when he was alive to family reunions in the future.
But after she sent the tapes in 2015, she never saw them again. Each time she called to check on them.
It's in process. It should be any time now. That's the basic message that she keeps giving.
And it's been year after year at this point.
Yeah.
And Sandra isn't the first person that's had problems. Reviews online aren't good, and our sister station in Denver has also received calls from people with similar issues. Our counterparts at Denver 7 went into the Rocky Mountain Film Lab undercover and snapped pictures of these boxes and packages all over. To make matters worse, while waiting for the original tapes, she found more tapes in storage, this time sending them to a different company, and got them back within a month. So in the time that you've sent film to this company, you've already gotten film back from this other company?
It took me just under a month to get it back from Film Rescue.
So we called Rocky Mountain Film Lab. They told us the film was still being processed. When we asked why it had taken so many years, they told us it takes time to develop old film. But later that day, Sandra got a call that the film was done being processed and being shipped back to her along with the DVDs. She says she wishes she had done more research back in 2015.
My problem was I did not do the research ahead of time.
Before you send off your memories to be processed, there's a lot of services out there, but make sure you do your homework. Look at things like reviews or the Better Business Bureau, and make sure the place is reputable before you send these off. Reporting tonight, Paris LaBelle, RTV6.
Metro police officers in some areas of the city will soon be equipped with body cameras as the department begins its trial phase. The body cameras will be spread out across 3 districts starting in July as the department tries to pick the best model for officers. The testing period was supposed to begin earlier this year, but the department held off to focus on policies for the cameras and when officers will turn them on or off when interacting with the public.
You're going to implement something like this, we need to make sure that our officers understand completely what the rules of engagement are going to be, what the rules are going to be with the community as far as transparency, and that we're all on the same page. So it was important to go back and look at national best practices across the country, also listen to our community and develop our specific policy and procedures based on what our community expects.
The testing process will last 45 days. IMPD says the final decision to equip each officer with a body camera comes down to funding. It's estimated to cost about $2 to $3 million each year for the body cameras. That decision will be up to the City County Council. Now just ahead, paying more to travel into Kentucky.
If your travels frequently take you to Louisville or Nashville, Tennessee, the cost is going up.
And sharing some moments that made us chuckle as we look back on 70 years of Channel 6 history. There have been a few bloopers along the way.
I'm aiming for a state of perfection here. No bloopers from me this evening. We'll watch the rain come in. It's part of a temperature transition on the way. Details coming up.
This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
Driving to Louisville will cost you a little more starting in July. RiverLink is raising the toll fees to cross the Ohio River about 2.5% starting July 1st. So if you have a RiverLink account or a transponder, the new rate for a passenger vehicle will be $2.10, up from $2.05. Those with transponders and prepaid accounts pay the lowest rates. Tolling is in place on the bridges connecting Indiana to Kentucky, including State Road 265 Lewis and Clark Bridge, the I-65 Abraham Lincoln Bridge, and the I-65 Kennedy Bridge.
Hiring Hoosiers is an RTV6 commitment focused on connecting you to jobs, resources, training, and education. The shortage of electricians nationwide has forced one local company to open their facility to a high school classroom. Gaylor Electric made room for a high school classroom in its facility in Noblesville 2 years ago. It's called The Crossing. High school students receive state-mandated coursework in the morning, and then Gaylor takes over with hands-on training.
Just being around this environment and learning so much, I just decided that this is what I wanted to do with my life, because these are very tangible skills. Like, everybody always needs an electrician.
Gaylor is also investing $8 million in a new facility. It will include 2 more classrooms and will allow the company to train about 100 students every year. Now, Gaylor works with area schools to help them fill the spots in their in-house training program.
When you broadcast for 70 years like we have done here at Channel 6, there are some moments that didn't go quite as scripted. It happens with live television. Today, we want to share a few laughs with you at the expense of Jack Reinhardt, Howard Caldwell, Linda Lupier, and Ken Nelson. We start with a Christmas shopping live shot that didn't go quite as planned for Jack and Linda, with a cameo appearance by Howard.
Linda Lupier is live downtown where a lot of that money is being spent. Linda? Obviously, Linda and Howard are trying to figure out how they're supposed to spend that Christmas money. Well,
our field anchor, Ken Nelson, is live in the downtown area with a report on what's going on down there. Ken.
Thank you, Dan, and a very happy 4th of July, everybody. Under some rather threatening skies today, things are getting underway. Now, what I'm going to do is just run over here. These people don't know that I am coming. But what I'm going to do is ask him a couple questions. Hi, I'm Ken Nelson, and we are live right now on the news for noon. I want to ask you what the 4th of July means to you.
Oh, I don't know. I'm German.
Well, what would the... How do you like that? The first one, and I picked someone from Germany. Well, thank you very much for being with us on the 4th of July. You, sir, are you from Germany?
Yes, I'm also from Germany.
As you can see, going about the same as the weather today, but anyway, are you from Germany? I ask these people, excuse me. I'm Ken Nelson with Channel 6 News, and you're on television right now. What does the 4th of July mean to you?
Nothing.
Nothing at all? You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, listen, you have fun anyway, honey. So anyway, at least the Germans are here and some young people who don't know much about 4th of July, but I'm sure it does mean something to you if you've spent any years in this country.
And who better to tell us about that than our own spirited Ken Nelson. Ken?
Okay, Ben, there's nothing finer than standing on ice to get into the Christmas spirit, and we are live on the Circle, where Christmas on the Circle takes place every year. Here's a gentleman here who is just as brave as I am. Hello, sir. I'm Ken Nelson with Channel 6 News. You're on television right now. Merry Christmas.
I'm on television here. Well, I'm from Germany here for a visit just for 2 days.
No kidding. You wouldn't believe that the 4th of July I ran into some people from Germany here, too. Do you like it so far?
Yeah, well, it's all on Christmas here. I like to see the lights. That's brand new. We not do that in Germany, see?
It's always a gamble when you just walk up to random people you just don't know. But I guess live shots, holidays, and German folks is what happened there.
Okay. It could have been worse because they could have responded just in German.
Right.
Yeah, I guess. I was waiting for him to slip on the ice, but that was even funnier.
We took a loop the other way.
That's a lot of fun. The unexpected is always fun. Well, maybe.
Not when it comes to weather.
All right, showers off to the west, and that is part of the transition to much cooler temperatures for tomorrow. The best we'll do is mid-60s. You combine that with winds at 30 miles per hour, and it'll be quite a different day. Between now and 11 o'clock, rain will expand into western Indiana. Then overnight, I think for the rest of us, we'll see showers, maybe an isolated rumble of thunder. 11 o'clock tonight, north toward Lafayette, Kokomo, Peru, Marion, some showers, isolated thunderstorms. There are the random showers in the morning. We'll pick up that timeline again here in a second. Just want to show you that we're going to get in a situation where we have a daily chance for rain once again. Friday is a nice day. We'll end the work week with a beautiful day. As we go toward the weekend, our rain chances will come back up, especially Saturday night and on Sunday. And for Jubilation, should be very nice, comfortable, not too warm or too humid. The pattern that will include this daily chance for rain will bring with it the potential for heavy rain once again. The humidity will come back up, and with the frontal boundary kind of stalled, like we've had many times this spring, it will bring ample opportunities for showers and thunderstorms. Coolest day is tomorrow, noticeably cooler than Friday. Then we get into the weekend, and we're pretty consistently around the 80-degree mark with a little more humidity. We're picking up the timeline again tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock, isolated showers as that northwest wind starts to rotate into colder temperatures. May see still a few isolated afternoon showers. There's your strong wind, pretty consistent through the day. We'll finally start to drop off tomorrow evening. Once the sun sets, the wind calms down a bit. 81, the average high, in some cases 20 degrees below average during the day tomorrow, and the 40% chance of showers throughout the day. As we get to Friday morning, quite cool temperatures in the 40s. What's great this time of year, though, the sun's getting pretty strong, and it will warm us to 74 Flag Day on Friday, 74 degrees with that sunshine, and that's as pretty representative across all of central Indiana, these temperatures in the 70s. Into the weekend we go. Temperatures, as we mentioned, Friday morning at 48, but we're back into the 60s for overnight lows, especially on Sunday. Most likely time for thunderstorms Saturday night through Sunday, and that will continue into Monday as well. Saturday morning, some isolated showers, but the chance increases through the day. 7-day planner. Sunday and Monday, a couple of wet days, and as we mentioned, that rain chance continues through Wednesday. May have some soggy fields again. I know the farming community has made some great gains here recently. Hopefully they'll be able to continue here for the next couple of days, and then everything will be waiting for it
Fingers crossed for them,
to
right?
grow. You got it.
All right, thanks, Kevin.
All right, Dave First is standing by with a look at sports this evening. Hey, Dave.
I am. Hey, guys. Thanks. Good evening. They call it a mandatory mini camp at the Colts complex, but with all due respect, given the attendance they really have had for all of the off-season today, just another Wednesday, everyone on hand. That's the culture. Ethos is the way Andrew Luck describes it. Stanford kids. Today was day 2 of the team's mandatory minicamp. Another gorgeous day to work outside. But if you're Ryan Kelly, you were looking around for luck. No luck is the best way to describe it as he continues to sit out with that strained calf. We detailed that yesterday. As for what Kelly, though, was doing, well, he's been without luck before.
He's very involved in every single meeting that we're part of, just because he's not on the field. Yeah, I mean, those reps are certain reps that you'd like to get with somebody like that. But at the end of the day, if he's there for training camp, which I fully expect that he will be, we still have a great, relationship. We do walkthroughs together. We'll still talk about, stuff we see, stuff we can get better at. So I have no worries about that.
Camp wraps up tomorrow. Meanwhile, where has the time gone? The high school sports season quickly coming to a close. The baseball state finals are next Monday and Tuesday. In fact, tomorrow we'll highlight Hamilton Southeastern's first trip to the finals. Tonight on the news at 11, a look at the unlikely return of University High School to the finals. Last year, the Trailblazers came up a win shy of the 1A title after a 4-2 loss to Daleville. Head coach Chris Eastep intentionally put together a really tough schedule this year, and it paid off. Monday, they get Washington Township at Victory Field.
We're now going back with, hey, we want to win. You know, we're just not happy being there. So just like every other team. So it's been exciting. It's been an exciting run.
Again, that's tonight at 11. Meanwhile, another high school sport wrapping up. The Boys Golf Championship decided up at Prairie View in Carmel, and Carmel High School feeling right at home. They entered the day with a 4-shot advantage over Center Grove. Today, the Greyhounds collectively, all 5 of them, shot just 1 over. So Carmel with back-to-back team titles, 17-shot win over the Trojans. Carmel's Nick Dentino, he beat Noblesville's Clay Merchant in a playoff for the individual title. So a sweep for the Greyhounds today. Finally tonight, first and foremost from the NBA, where the Cleveland Cavaliers hired Cal women's coach Lindsey Gottlieb to join John Beilein's staff up in Cleveland. She becomes the 7th female assistant in the NBA, but the first to jump from a head coaching position to the pros. Gottlieb led the Golden Bears to 7 NCAA tournament appearances and a Final Four 6 years ago. How about that? Reminder, tomorrow night, NBA Finals, big night here on RTV6 at ABC. Warriors trying to stave off elimination. The final game ever out at Oracle Arena. Jimmy Kimmel Live comes on at 8. NBA Countdown at 8:30. Tip at 9 tomorrow right here on RTV6. Again, University Baseball in our Sports Sector Spotlight tonight at 11. The News at 6 continues after this.
Well, the concert lineup is growing for the Indiana State Fair. Free stage this summer. The latest wave includes Boys to Men on August 14th and Air Supply on Monday, August 5th. Other entertainers announced today are Switchfoot, 16 Candles, and David Nail. More free stage shows will be announced next week. The fair runs again August 2nd through the 18th.
Here it comes that quickly.
August 2nd is RTV6 Day.
At the fair. Yeah. We love that. How do you know that?
He just knows.
He's been looking forward to it forever.
It's amazing.